and bunting and thinking about it.
We're used to watching them do the same things and the same activities. Let's see them do something fresh and new. Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. If you own a small business and you got through COVID and you were able to retain 5 or more employees, you could be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Do the math on that one. That's real money. So let me suggest getrefunds.com. You answer a few questions, takes under 10 minutes, and you'll see if your business qualifies for this tax refund. There's no charge up front. They don't get paid until your business gets paid. And businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP and nonprofits, even if you had increases in sales during COVID. They are experts in the student loan payroll tax refund program, and they've already returned over $3 billion to businesses. In my business, a 6-figure refund. So to find out if your business qualifies, go to getrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button. It only takes a few minutes. Go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com. I'm Martin Koch, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I told you about how your nose is the body's air filter. This Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs. And that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I've bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. For this one, I use Navage every night. Could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a closet mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage. The all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Pretty nose, healthy life.
Did you know your completely free iHeartRadio app is also your home for hit podcasts? New for you this week. Check out On Purpose. Jay Shetty.
The #1 health podcast in the world. Thank you to each and every one of you that come back every week to listen, learn, and grow.
Sharing his conversations with the biggest stars in the world.
There is no perfect person that you find. It's who you make it work with.
On Purpose with Jay Shetty. Listen today on your free iHeartRadio app.
Like, I'm so bad.
What I love about Wake Up Call is that it's a mix of international but with a national focus of what's happening here. I think it paints the coolest picture in the morning that has just a big, broad brushstroke of what's going on in the world right now, and that's just awesome for me.
Wake Up Call with Jennifer Jones-Wade, live 5 to 6 a.m. on JFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for movies. It's time for music. It's time for ViralRabbi. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Let's talk box office returns. Got good news? Got bad news, depending on where you sit. The Super Mario Brothers movie came in first this week with $146.4 million domestically. That's an unadulterated smash hit. Good for it. We talked about how Nick Pagliocchini had seen the movie. He thoroughly enjoyed it. He understood the backstory as someone who played the game religiously. He loved everything about the movie. And fans have responded. It has resonated with them. $146.4 million. And that's just domestically, $375 million worldwide. It's a hit. Now let's go to the other end of the spectrum. You have a movie like Air, which was critically acclaimed. In other words, it was well reviewed. People said the movie is going to be great. It is not a big budget movie. It did $20 million domestically. Air is the story we talked about, where it has Matt Damon and Ben Affleck talking about Michael Jordan, how he changed sports marketing and shoe deals. Now, the movie has been well received in a critical acclaim sense, but financially, it only did $20 million domestically, $10 million international, for a total of $30 million. That's not bad, and they
said that this would be an Oscar contender come next March. So you have to choose. Do you want a movie which is going to do well financially, or do you want an Oscar contender? You know,
I would say for a movie like Air, being that it's a Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, produced, written by, starring as Ben or whatever, I think they want the Oscar. But those two, they want the
but
Oscar.
they've won. You know, they're Oscar winners. So, and of course, yes, you don't do a movie like Air hoping to get $100 million in the first week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like when Adam Sandler did the basketball movie. He wanted the Oscar. Damn, the fact people were going to go see it that they loved it. He wanted the Oscar because he wanted that critical acclaim for something that he did that was serious. This is their first partnership making the film in the longest of time. They wanted something that was going to hit on all of the Oscar buttons versus something like Super Mario, which is another film from Illumination.
Mm-hmm.
They want blood to the beat. They want people to go to Super Mario Land. They want video games to sell. They're after the merchandise. So it's like both of these won for their respective reasons.
Here's the good news, bad news. The good news, it was a good weekend for box office overall. The bad news and the reality is, and don't let people lie to you, you can go to boxofficemojo.com and see the numbers I'm getting ready to tell you. We are about 3.5, almost 4 months into this box office year. We are still way behind in a mathematical percentage-wise in terms of total gross with respect to last year. We're still going to have, at this rate, fewer releases this year as opposed to last year. And so films are put on a schedule well in advance. And if it keeps moving in this direction, it doesn't matter if a movie does well here and there. You need more movies in theaters and more movies in theaters doing well to raise the tide of all the boats. You know, that rising tide will lift all the boats in the sense of bringing in enough money for movie theaters to consistently do well throughout the year. You can't have a movie theater which is only doing well in fits and starts or maybe the summer movie season. You need to be able to carry them throughout the year. When I say carry them throughout the year, it's not only the movie theater, it's also the employees. We were talking about the automation of fast food. You don't really need to have some 19-year-old young person being paid $16 an hour to hand you popcorn. You don't. If they can automate McDonald's, they damn sure can automate a movie theater.
I was
Things are connected.
Last time I went to the theaters, I did not want to stand in line, so I used the app to order all of my food ahead, and because I knew exactly what time I'd be able to walk in there. Like I was going to be there at 11:30. I said I placed the order for 11:25. I walked in 11:25. The person from back who was ever cooking it, they had it all right there, everything that I needed, and that saved me a whole bunch of time going to the register.
It's already thin because usually the person who's working the register is the person who has to go get your food. Yeah, that makes the line even longer. It's like you make the order, and God bless that young person. It's usually a young person. He or she will then turn their back, and then go get the popcorn. Then they'll check on the hot dogs or the chicken fingers, and then they realize something doesn't work, or we're out of hot dogs, or you willing to wait for 15, 20 minutes. Well, it's always something, and it takes like 15 to 20 minutes at least in line to get your food for a meal, which has always been a turnoff for me. But part of that reason is they're trying to use as few employees as possible.
Yeah.
They don't want someone to do the popcorn and then someone to do the hot dogs and someone to work the register. They want one person to do all three.
I'm telling you, order ahead. Cut out the middle.
No, I'm with you on that, but I'm saying you're only one step from the door of not having those employees at all.
Yeah.
If you can do it in fast food, you can do it at the movie theater. And don't you think the movie theater would much rather keep that concession revenue as opposed to sharing it with employees?
And just think, we're getting closer and closer to movies being available at home within a month's time. Because we were tripping last week off the fact that Shazam was literally already being scheduled
about to drop, I believe, within the next week or two. Let me go further down that line. March 3rd, Creed 3 was released in theaters. 30 days later, it was already available for digital download. 30 days. And the movie did well in theaters. So in other words, even if a movie has legs and does well, like Creed 3, which is gross more than, I think, more than 200 million worldwide, it's not going to stay in theaters long. So it used to, you would think, if you're old enough to remember, movies would stay in theaters a good 6-7 weeks, even if they weren't doing well. Now, if you take a movie which is doing well, and by extension, bringing in people to see the movie, if you take out the movie which is doing well, and you're not replacing it with a movie which would do as well, then you're doing a disservice to the movie theater. Now, I know that these are deals which are worked out in advance. It's not necessarily that the theater saying, okay, we want Creed 3 out of theaters, but for a movie which is doing so well to be out of theaters in 4 weeks, that's unheard of. Yeah. It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now, let's go to the KFI 24-hour newsroom and Amy King.
An agreement for higher pay and better benefits has been approved by LA school workers following their strike over alleged unfair treatment. 99% of workers voted in favor of the proposal that would increase wages by 30%. President of SEIU Local 99, Conrado Cuadero, said only 1% of the union's 45,000 employees voted against the agreement.
I would have loved to find out who they were, so I could have, asked them what they were, what they didn't like about it, or what was wrong with it.
Members cast their vote over the last week, and now the proposal is expected to move to the district's next board meeting on April 18th, where union members say they anticipate its approval. In LA, Chris Adler, KFI News. New billboards that say fentanyl is the #1 cause of death for people aged 18 to 45 have been put on 4 freeways in Southern California. Families Against Fentanyl founder Jim Rao says his son was killed in 2015 by fentanyl.
It was traced all the way back to China to the Zhang drug trafficking organization. The United States prosecuted them in the Ministry of Justice in China. After 3 days of prosecution, they let the Zhangs free.
Rao says about 50,000 people have signed his petition to make fentanyl a threat to national security because the poisonings are deliberate. Rao says Southern California was chosen for the billboards because the latest CDC stats show the state leads the nation in fentanyl deaths. Some people say they've been getting scammed by thieves posing as LA County Sheriff's personnel. The department says scammers pretend to be deputies and threaten to have the person arrested. They don't pay for a fake jury summons or outstanding warrant. The scammers told people to pay in prepaid credit cards, gift cards, even Bitcoin. The department says they'll never ask for money over the phone. And if you do get a call like that, you should hang up and call the real sheriff's department. China's military says it's ready to fight following 3 days of large-scale combat exercises around Taiwan that simulated sealing off the island. The announcement comes after Taiwan's president met with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in California last week.
Taiwan says dozens of Chinese warplanes once again crossed the very sensitive de facto maritime border of the Taiwan Strait. China's army releasing an animated video of what it would look like if key targets were hit.
ABC's Rick Punnett says the U.S. is watching China's actions very closely. The U.S. says it has the resources and capabilities to ensure peace.
Gracias. Exilios, Espíritu Santos. Amen.
Pope Francis has renewed his call to pray for peace on Easter Monday in St. Peter's Square. Francis also invited people to keep praying for peace in the world, especially in Ukraine. The 86-year-old pontiff was released from the hospital earlier this month where he was being treated for bronchitis. Southland weather from KFI, mostly clear early this evening, then low clouds and fog forming overnight, lows in the 40s to mid-50s, clearing off by tomorrow afternoon to mostly sunny skies with highs in the 60s to mid-70s at the beaches, Metro LA and Inland OC, 70s to low 80s to the valleys, IE, and Antelope Valley. About 5 to 10 degrees cooler for Wednesday and Thursday, then we'll warm back up as we head into the weekend. It's 54 in Costa Mesa, 58 in Buena Park. Still working on a crash in Pomona on the 71.
Northbound just before the 10, it still has the 2 left lanes shut down, so it's starting to jam up for you as you approach Holt Avenue. If you're traveling on the mid-60, that's going to be in Chino. You'll see delays building up at Mountain Avenue, and it stays pretty busy until you get to Southbound at Cedar. A crash there has the middle lane blocked, so your drive is busy as you approach Riverside Avenue. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. Hey y'all, it's Team Sharp. If you are ready for that new dream kitchen, now is the perfect time, because the best place for kitchen cabinets in all of Southern California, the Kitchen Store, is having its massive winter sale. Everything from conventional entry-level cabinets to literally any custom configuration imaginable, the Kitchen Store has got you covered. Imagine just one place to find every door, color, finish, storage option, hinge, and hardware accessory on the market. You'll find it all and more in Southern California's largest kitchen design showroom, waiting for you right off the 405 in Culver City. And as always, it all starts with a totally free in-showroom consult with one of the Kitchen Store's expert kitchen designers. 12-month famous cash financing, pricing that beats the big boxes, and happening right now, the huge winter sale. So start the new kitchen right by dialing 310-KITCHEN. That's 310-KITCHEN. Or find them on the web at 310kitchen.com.
Why would a plumber just tell me what it costs to unclog my drain?
No, it's not. It makes no sense at all. They obviously have a price.
Whoa, you've got a nice aroma. Who are you?
Mike Diamond, the smell good plumber.
Will you tell me how much to unclog my drain?
$99.
But you haven't seen it.
Don't need to. Doesn't matter if it's a kitchen sink or a mainline sewer stoppage. The smell good plumbers at Mike Diamond will unclog almost any drain for $99.
Almost.
Yeah, there are a few exceptions, but you can read all about them on our website before you call. Just go to thesmellgoodplumber.com.
Wow, you're like up front and everything. I just called a guy named Bubba who wouldn't tell me anything.
No Bubba's here, ma'am. Just professional plumbers who show up on time, smell good, and unclog drains for $99. Call us, 1-800-446-MIKE. Contact your license number 39917. What do you mean I can't light up spray tan, wayfarers, and dolphin stories? Those are the tools of my trade. Now your top reason to visit the music.
Rob Schneider, live May 26th. Get tickets now.
Number 2.
Because Ruffles Feathers has the best chicken sandwiches in town. Try them at foodporn today.
And the number 1 reason.
Here's the fact. More people agree Morongo is the best place for a good time.
Morongo, good time. You lost your cat up this tree?
Yeah, he ran up there and scared to come down.
Hang on, I'll get him for you.
Be careful, mister.
Thanks, kid. Here you go.
Where did you come from? And where's your mask and tape?
What? Oh, no, your mom and dad called us to clean out your shower drain.
Why?
They were up a tree, too.
Really?
Your drain was really clogged, backing up, and we have to stop that nasty stuff from invading your bathroom.
So you're a hero?
Try to be every day. We're rooter heroes.
Wow.
We make sure you live in a safe, clean house. So long.
Thanks for rescuing George.
It's what a hero does.
If you have a clogged drain, call Reader Hero Plumbing and Air. Go online at readerhero.com.
See you on 96688.
Welcome to the future, Dickerson. All of your trophy muscles are irrelevant. What are you talking about? For 46 years, the Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck on the market, but it's not just because it's got brawn. It's got brains, too, and cutting-edge technology.
Fully charged.
Mobile generators, hybrid engines, even wireless charging. That's great, but I've got both. I'm the whole package. Humble, too. Ford Truck Month is going on now. Head to your Southern California Ford dealers for great offers on a Ford F-150 truck. American Vision Windows, SoCal's choice for energy-efficient windows and doors. AmericanVisionWindows.com. They watch Washington Swamp, so you don't have to. Swamp Watch with Gary and Janet, weekdays at 11 on KFI. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You may remember about 2 weeks ago, the story first broke regarding Jonathan Majors and his alleged assault. And I said then, I have thoughts, but I want to wait. I wanted to let the story unfold. I didn't need to be first. I didn't need to jump in. I didn't need to weigh in. I didn't need to assail either the alleged assaulter or the victim. We didn't have all the information, or it wasn't exactly clear what direction the story was moving. And let me also add to that. We're always allowed to change our minds when there's new information, if there's new evidence, if there's more to add to a story. This story may be Jonathan Majors. It could be a Mel Gibson. It could be a Harvey Weinstein, a Bill Cosby. It could be any number of celebrities or people who are in Hollywood where we hear bad things concerning. If we get more information or new information, well, our opinion, we reserve that right to change our opinion. And that remains true with Jonathan Majors. But this is what I said in the beginning. I said that I needed to see certain things. I needed to know where all this is going to be headed. And a lot of that would be predicated on what Jonathan Majors and others would do. Now, Jonathan Majors has been quiet. He personally has not said anything, not proclaiming his innocence, not in any way trying to besmirch the character of the victim. Absolutely nothing. It has been radio silence. His lawyer said that he would be exonerated, the charges would be dropped, and his lawyer also said that there is a video which is exculpatory in nature. The lawyer released 2 text messages allegedly from the victim, which said something to the effect of, it was her fault, she started the fight, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along those lines. Now, those text messages were never verified as to their authenticity. And we do know, at least in the characterization of them by the lawyer for John Majors, that the text messages were after the fact. Not prior to, but after the fact. This is what I do know. Marvel Entertainment has not made any public statement regarding the issue. There are all sorts of rumors that he's getting ready to be replaced, or they've already replaced him, they've just not made the announcement. And if you don't know, Jonathan Majors was to be the key villain for another 6 or 7 Marvel movies. There are billions of dollars attached to his place in Marvel Entertainment and the number of movies that he's going to be in. We know that Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which he made his Marvel Cinematic Universe debut, recently came to video, and all mentions of him have been scrubbed from what I can see. Not necessarily scrubbed from the movie, but all mentions of him being connected to the movie as a selling point and promotional point have been scrubbed. I talked about Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan in the last segment, how it was a critical hit. That too just in the video, and all mentions of Jonathan Majors have been overlooked, I should say, with that movie. So if anything, it's moving in a certain direction. And it's not a rush to judgment. It's an absence of evidence to exonerate someone. And this is where people, I think, misunderstand the idea of cancel culture. There is something to be said for a person's brand becoming toxic in nature, where you are likely to have to suffer blowback from association. And this doesn't mean that Jonathan Majors is guilty of anything. He is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That has to do with his legal status. But in terms of public opinion and public perception, it is what we make it to be. It is what we feel. It is what we think. Someone need not be guilty of a crime for us to not want to do business with someone. And we're just about there. The lawyer promised this exculpatory video. No one has seen it. It's been noted. Jonathan Majors has made no public statement. There is nothing to suggest that the charges are going to be dropped. He has a court date on May 8th, but nothing has happened in the intervening days to suggest that the charges would be dropped before then. There has been no video released to you or to me, and we all know that TMZ would have been able to get the video if there was a video to be gotten, as they say. So there's nothing moving in the directions which suggests that the original report given by the accuser is somehow different now. There's nothing to suggest that what has been originally been reported has somehow fundamentally changed. know that there was enough other witnesses as this happened in public view in either a taxi or ride share situation, and someone not in the car I guess in an apartment or some sort of dwelling next to the car, he made the call to 911. But it looks pretty bad in the sense that it's not moving in a direction which looks good for Jonathan Majors. And I'm always on the side of right. If he didn't do it, I hope that information comes out and he'll be exonerated accordingly. If he did do it, I hope that information comes out and he will be convicted accordingly. Because domestic violence is something that I can't abide by. If you mistreat women, if you mistreat children, then I have a problem with you. It doesn't matter how talented you may be. It does not matter how much of a star, a movie sensation that you are on track to be. The truth is the truth. And the truth is, I'm not seeing anything which is leading me to believe that Jonathan Majors did not do what he's accused of doing. And whether he did or not, that will be determined in the court of law. But in terms of public opinion and his career and whether he will be the face of Marvel franchise movies going forward, more and more is suggesting that he is not going to be part of any future with Marvel, and his career is in serious jeopardy. Now, as I said at the beginning, we may get new information. That may change tomorrow. But as of right now, there is no video. There's nothing to suggest that this accuser's original criminal complaint has changed in any way.
To your point, for the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, he has already been conspicuously removed from the cover of that. So, to me, that lends to the idea that, yeah, you're right, he will be removed from Marvel.
And that's a corporate decision that is not contingent upon whether he's found guilty or not guilty. That is a decision which is made where we would rather not associate our brand with yours. And let's not forget, there may be other incidents in which we are just not aware of. There have been allegations of similar, quote-unquote, abusive conduct on set and elsewhere in his past. I said allegations, can't say it was true. But and I know that corporations like Marvel, they always do their own due diligence. They will do their own investigations. They will do their own background checks. They will investigate what other people have said about him. And if in their investigations, if there is some corroboration as far as who he is as an individual or other similar behavior or questionable behavior, either contemporaneously or previously, then yes, they will cut ties. They are very specific about trying to sanitize and sterilize the brand of Marvel, which is a subset of Disney. I wish everyone involved the best, but I wish more for the truth above all. It's later with Mo Kelly. We'll catch up with George Nori next. KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app now to the KFI 24-hour newsroom in anything.
LA City Councilman Curran Price says he'll introduce a motion to raise the minimum wage to $25 an hour for tourism workers. It's expected to provide more details Wednesday that would affect hotel, LAX, and other workers whose jobs are tied to the tourism industry. A settlement's been reached in a lawsuit filed by the late actor Ed Asner and other performers against the SAG-AFTRA health plan. If the $15 million class action lawsuit settlement is approved, the plan would pay older performers who lost coverage due to eligibility changes. U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal is expected to be discharged from hospital following surgery. He had to have pins put into his leg after he fractured it during a victory parade for the national champion University of Connecticut men's basketball team over the weekend. Becoming mostly sunny tomorrow, highs in the 70s to low 80s, about 5 to 10 degrees cooler for Wednesday. Got a work zone in Rosemead on the 16th.
The city's westbound in between Rosemead Boulevard and Finlay, the 3 right lanes are shut down until 5 tomorrow morning, so watch for delays currently from about Santa Anita. Pomona, 71 northbound, that's after 10. Crash there, still has the 2 left lanes shut down, so you're seeing a busy ride coming away from Holt Avenue. And in Corona, on the 15 northbound, just before Cajalco, you'll see a crash there, blocking the 2 right lanes, so it's causing some delays as you come away from Wybrick Road. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno. This report is sponsored by the California DMV. Did you know that many DMV tasks like Registration or starting your Real ID application can be done online any time of day. Check them off your to-do list without a trip to the DMV. Get started today at dmv.ca.gov/online. iHeart Podcast is excited to welcome Jay Shetty to the iHeart family. Tune into On Purpose with Jay Shetty, the hit podcast where the former monk shares fascinating conversations with insightful people and investigates ways to live life today on purpose.
Try something new. When was the last time you did something for the first time with your partner? We're used to watching them do the same things, do the same activities. Let's even do something fresh and new.
Listen to On Purpose with Jay Shetty on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The guy in his cheap transmission fluid.
Seriously? Like, dealership just checked the brakes.
We all know how easy it can be to go to the wrong place for car repair. But look at them. Check engine light is on again. So don't risk it. Take your car to the experts at AMCO. AA, MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. See AMCO.com for complete details.
You've been dreaming about it, sliding behind the wheel, firing up that engine, and taking off. But for too long, the dream is all it was, because car lots everywhere have been virtually empty until now. At Roto.com, the car shortage is finally over. Shop an incredible selection of cars available right now. No waiting for inventory. No settling for less than what you want. Ready to hit the road? Get the car you want at a great price today. Start saving now by downloading the Roto app or check out ROTHSCHILD.
Could you use monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet? Find out about supplemental security income. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low and you're 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who's blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI. Produced by Social Security, U.S. Taxpayers Spend.
Are you feeling overwhelmed after a serious truck accident? The legal dream team at Jacoby & Myers is here to take the weight off your shoulders. We specialize in these complex cases and will work tirelessly to get the compensation you deserve. Call us now. Let us do the heavy lifting for you. Jacoby & Myers, justice for you since 1972.
I've been a small business person my entire adult life, and over the years, several HR issues I got nailed. I could never afford an HR person. But there's an answer, Bambi.com. And with Bambi, you get an HR person starting at just $99 per month. I thought this was too good to be true. Rating HR policies, sexual harassment training, hostile work environment, terminations. That was my problem. People complaining about other employees, all putting you and your business at risk. With Bambi, you get access to your own dedicated HR manager available by phone, email, real-time chat. Go to Bambi.com, type in KFI under the radio drop-down when you sign up. Bambi.com, that's KFI under the radio drop-down. I want the credit, please. Spelled BAM, B-E-E, that's BAM, B-E-E, that's Bambi.com. When you're driving nowadays, not only do you have to look out for people crashing into you, but now you have to look for potholes. Mark Thompson hit a pothole offering $400 for a new tire. I could buy 8 tires for my car for $400. I buy the used tires that they put a little more tread on.
The Tim Conway Jr. Show.
You change them often, but it's
Live 4 to 7 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeart Radio app.
It's Little with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be Coast to Coast AM with our own George Norrie, who joins me right now to preview. Good evening, George.
Hello, Mr. Kelly. I'm in St. Louis for about a month. How's everybody in L.A.?
We're doing well now that the weather has gotten a little bit better. It's warmer. The sun is out longer. You shouldn't have left.
I've got 78 and sunny here. It's pretty good.
All right, but you're getting ready to get humidity, so I don't know if I want any of that.
That's true. We got a classic coast-to-coast show tonight. First couple hours, we're going to talk about the power of consciousness, and then later on, Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote a book, Conversations with God.
And
Joined
live with
us to
actual
talk about how he's changed his life.
Well, I'll definitely be tuning in on the way home, George. Always good to talk to you.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Before the break, I was talking about Jonathan Majors and what Marvel will do or won't do. They're training
careful with their brand and how it's being represented, and they will never blink at place one. It could be something as Toronto, it could be Edward Norton, who they've replaced. It could be Terrence Howard, who they replaced with Don Cheadle. They have no problem with replacing a minor or major character when it comes to Disney and any of their properties. Someone who may be, I say, controversial. People want to say it has to do with their politics. No, it has to do with anyone who's going to impact their money. That's what it really comes down to. Yeah. Can't touch the money. Can't touch it. You can't affect the money. You can't impact the money. And Jonathan Majors was on his way to being a superstar, and that is in doubt. But something I do want to support most definitely, and we mentioned this in a couple of the headlines earlier this evening, Rogers the Musical is going to premiere series for a limited time at Disney California Adventure Park. And KFI's own Amy King is going to get us in there. It's going to get us free passes. It's going to make sure we have a live broadcast. Definitely live broadcast. Yes. From the grand opening of Rogers the Musical.
We'll work on that. I don't miss the free tickets.
Look, Amy, this is the perfect time for later to broadcast. I mean, Rogers the Musical, what started out as kind of a throwaway joke on the Hawkeye series, has now taken on the life of its own with a live musical at California Adventure. I've been to that theater. I saw Aladdin there. Aladdin was a great production there. I can only imagine what they're going to do with Rogers the Musical.
For people who don't know, Rogers, as in Steve Rogers, Captain America. And to your point, Tuala, in the first episode of Hawkeye with Jeremy Renner, it's set in New York, and Jeremy Renner goes to see this musical about the Avengers and more with his kids. And it's a serious musical with song and dance and choreography. And it was so well received online and by the fans. There's Steve Rogers, the musical, which is going to premiere June 30th.
And if it's done by Disney, to me that does not.
It's great. Does it have to be?
Does any musical on Broadway have to be?
No, but I'm saying it's something like, for example, we all loved, or at least I did, I loved Captain EO when it was at Disneyland.
Oh, I love that.
Michael Jackson, great soundtrack. We thought maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes long, something like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephanie